Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter her wedding rule is ridiculous? My daughter, 25F, is getting married to her fiancé soon. However, none of us, her family, is invited to the wedding. It's going to be a large wedding, so I'm surprised we were not invited. I wasn't surprised when she didn't invite her siblings, because their relationship is practically non-existent. However, she didn't invite either me or my husband. Her rule is that she just wants my husband, her father, to walk her down the aisle, and then he leaves. When we asked why, it's because her fiancé doesn't like us, and she doesn't want to make him uncomfortable. She made it clear she wants us there, not her fiancé. I genuinely do not know why her fiancé does not like us. I'd be willing to figure out why, if he would like to talk. My daughter has been with him for 4 years, and yet we only seen him a handful of times. When we do see him, he doesn't talk to us. We initiate conversations, but he either does not respond, or changes his answer every visit. When we ask him how him and my daughter met, the answer is different. Ask him about himself and the answer always changes. It's not like he changed his thoughts on something after we saw him, because he denies answering something different. When we asked our daughter about this, she just said it's how he acts around people he doesn't know. When my daughter told me the rule of us not getting invited, and her father could only walk her down, I told her it was ridiculous, and not fair to either me or her father. I also asked her about the future. How is he going to act when they have kids? My husband and told me it wasn't necessary to say, and maybe it wasn't. So am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my sister when she was just trying to help? I'm 22F. My sister is 27F. We had babies within 2 weeks of each other, and our sons are now 3 and 5 weeks old. Her son is breastfed and mine is not. I needed to get surgery recently, and because my son's father isn't around, my sister and Bill offered to babysit my son while I was in the hospital, 3 days total, free of charge. When I came home today, I walked into my son on my sister's breast, which I actually didn't have an issue with to begin with because it was probably easier to BF him than make bottles, but she told me after she had thrown out all of the garbage I was feeding him and she was going to pump plus donate milk to him. I was kind of in shock, so I didn't react straight away, but I went to the bathroom and called the police on her. Apparently what she did wasn't a crime, and the child is being fed, so they couldn't even do anything about it. My sister then blew up at me, saying it was completely wrong of me to call the police on her when she was just trying to help. I told her she dumped 14 cans of formula without even consulting me and currently had nothing to replace it with, just plans to. She now wants me to pay her for the babysitting she did, but I told her I can't even afford to replace the formula while I'm on maternity leave, so I won't be paying her for the babysitting. She ended up storming out, and blocked me on everything. Our parents were able to replace 2 of the cans she threw out but can't do much else. They also think I was a dick for calling the police on her because getting a record could affect her government job and therefore my nephew. Am I the a-hole for not allowing my friend to move with my children? I am a 32-year-old widow to 3 young children. We live in a small but cute 3-bedroom that is too small for us, but due to cost of living and COVID we ended up renting the home longer than originally expected. The house has a renovated garage-type space in the back, and about 6 months ago my friend Trish asked if she could stay because she had nowhere to go with her 2 kids. I told her that's fine, but that I would not be renewing my lease because I am purchasing a home. Trish has not saved up any money or gotten a job. I reminded her last week that I would start putting in offers on homes this week. We put in an offer this past Friday and found out today that I was accepted. I let Trish know that if things went well we would be leaving in 30 to 45 days. She asked me about the house and then said that the house doesn't have a space for her and her kids, but otherwise it was perfect. I thought she was joking and said that once we get settled we will figure out something for sleepovers with the kids. Trish seemed totally taken off guard. She said that she didn't think I was really going to move without her and that she had nowhere to go and she would be homeless. She called her sister and her sister said no, she can't stay because their grandmother already lives there and there is no more space. Trish is now freaking out and saying that we've all turned our back on her. Her parents don't have their own place, nor do her grandparents. I recommended income-based housing a job, but she said she doesn't want to put her kids in daycare. She says that I have more than enough money to help her and still buy a house. I work 2 jobs and have busted my butt to buy this house and have enough money for furniture and everything to be the way I want. I basically told her I can help her and the lights will be out September 15th. Am I the a-hole for leaving her with nowhere to go? Am I the a-hole for not helping my brother babysit his 3 kids? My 33F older brother, 40M, has 3 kids under 5. I myself have no children by choice. Him and we never very close, but he is always asking for help with the kids. Saturday was a beautiful day. My husband and I had plans to spend the day in our pool. At 10 a.m. he calls me and asks me to come over and help with the kids for an hour or 2 because his wife is going to get her nails done. I declined and told him what my plans were. He has a fit saying that I could come help him and then go home and still spend all day in the pool, which is true. He only lives about 15 minutes from me, but honestly I just didn't want to have to spend the morning with his kids and was really not in the mood to babysit, so I again said no, hung up and had a nice day with my husband. Later that day I got a nasty text from Sil about not helping out. She was pissed she has to cancel her nail appointment. She pretty much called me an immature boss for not helping. My mom thinks I could have just went over for an hour or two since it really wouldn't have messed with my plans and I had no real reason not to. Now I feel like a jerk, so I thought I would come here. Am I the a-hole for retiring and moving to South America like every single person in my family knew I planned to do since I was 16? I am 55, just pulled the pin on my retirement. I put in 33 years of work and I'm done. I bought property in South America 12 years ago and I have been building our retirement home down there. I have dual citizenship so I can own property without it being a hassle. The house was designed to be perfect for us. We have a pool, a small house for the caretaker/hardener, and 34 different fruit trees. The bathroom is up to North American standards and the shower has grab bars and stuff already built in for when I'm old. Everything is on one level so there are no stairs. My wife helped by making suggestions to the design of the house and by taking care of decorating it. We have been vacationing there for 8 years now and renting it out when we aren't there for some extra money. We have hosted friends and family there, both with us there and on their own. My wife has now decided that she doesn't want to live there for 7 months of the year. We have grandkids now and she wants to be more involved in their lives. I love my kids and grandkids, and my parents who also live up here. But I am done with winter. If I never see snow again it will be too soon. The house has guest rooms and flights are cheap. If they want to see me in the winter they are all welcome to come down. Plus I will be back for 5 months in the summer to do some contract work. I will see everyone then. My wife said she didn't want to go down this winter. And that is absolutely her right. I booked my flight for September and she asked me about the expense on the credit card. I said I was leaving for the winter like I had told everyone I was planning to do. This is when she said that she didn't want to go this winter actually meant she didn't want us to go this winter. I said that I was going and that I would see her in the spring unless she changed her mind and came down. Now her, my parents, and my kids are bugging me about leaving her alone for the winter. It is 100% her choice.